Chapter 7 The Helicopter Leap. "We must approach with caution," said Chuck, "and listen in." The meerkat poodle inched forward, taking care to avoid the ringmaster's loyal pet, Doris the dancing dog, who was sniffing a nearby lamppost. "Then you redirect it to my microphone," the ringmaster was saying as they drew closer. "Do you think you can do that, my flexible friends? For what you're paying it will be no problem," said Standing. The others nodded. "What if these rodents you warned us about turn up?" asked one of the acrobats. "Two have already been disposed of, thanks to my clowns," replied the ringmaster. "You have permission to deal with the remaining pair as you see fit." "Rodents," said Bruce. "Disposed of?" Jack grinned. "Quiet," warned Chuck. Doris looked up and eyed the poodle. Her nose twitched. She trotted over to it and stared into the poodle's eyes. The four meerkats froze on the spot. "Woof," barked Doris. "Woof," responded Donnie. Doris gave the poodle a suspicious sniff. "Come on, Doris, this is no time for making friends," said the ringmaster. "Good luck, gentlemen, and remember, it must be done before the stroke of midnight, when everyone will be listening." Doris threw the poodle one last glance, and trotted over to her master. The ringmaster turned and headed down the hill, with Doris by his side. "That was close," whispered Jet. "I thought that mutt was going to ruin our cover." "Donnie's disguise worked well," said Chuck. "Now we must turn our attention to the matter in hand." He looked up at a nearby wooden pole. A wire ran across the top and into a nearby building. "I think I understand the ringmaster's plan now," he said. "That wire must be for the speaker system we keep hearing. Those acrobats plan to climb this pole and redirect the system to the ringmaster, so the ringmaster can take control of it. With that kind of amplification, he could use the roar of victory to turn the whole city into his slaves in a second." "Clever," said Jet. "Donnie and Bruce, it's up to you to stop the acrobats. Jet, you come with me. We'll follow the ringmaster." Behind a nearby bush, the four meerkats jumped out of the dog disguise and bowed to one another. "Good luck. Stay true to the way of the scorpion," said Chuck. "Come on, Jet." As Chuck and Jet set off after the ringmaster, Donnie and Bruce turned their attention to the three acrobats. "So how are we going to do this?" asked Donnie. "We need a cunning, well-thought-out plan to overcome these flexible fiends and prevent them from climbing the pole and redirecting to the communication line." "What about this?" said Bruce. "Oi, acrobats, get ready for the fight of your lives." "Great," said Donnie, slapping his head in disbelief. "Not quite what I had in mind." The acrobats turned around, but it took a while for them to notice who was speaking. "Well, well, well, it's the rodents," said Standing, glancing down. "We're not rodents," said Bruce. "That's right," said Donnie. "We're a kind of mongoose." Donnie did a double spin and kicked Standing in the shin with enough force to knock over an oak tree, but which hardly bothered the muscly acrobat at all. Jumping and wobbling, jumped up onto Standing's shoulders and launched themselves at the meerkats. "Brute force!" cried Bruce, kicking Jumping in the stomach. Wobbling tried to land a punch on Donnie, but the meerkat dodged the attack, dived between his legs, and hit him in the back. "Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes until midnight," said the voice from the loudspeaker, as the battle raged. As Bruce and Donnie fought the acrobats, Chuck and Jet followed the ringmaster down the hill and into a shady park, where they found a high barbed wire fence. "How did they get through?" asked Jet. "I don't know, but this fence has been designed to keep us out. The ringmaster will have planted it deep in the soil, making it possible to burrow under." "What now?" "We will perform the helicopter leap," said Chuck. Jet gaped at him. "You saw what happened when I tried that before. We'll end up getting skewered." "Have faith, Jet. I will show you the correct way to execute the move. Now, take my paws." The two meerkats bowed to each other, then crossed their arms, held paws, and began moving in a circle. Gradually increase your speed, said Chuck. Keep your feet evenly spaced. Breathe deeply. Focus on my eyes. They moved faster and faster until the black, red, and yellow of their ninja clothes blurred into orange. On my count, shouted Chuck. 1, 2, 3. They leaped in the air and, like a helicopter, glided high up and over the fence, landing safely on the other side. That is how we perform the helicopter leap, said Chuck. Ninja, boom! Exclaimed Jet. Now let's go and find the ringmaster. There's no need, said a voice from the darkness. The ringmaster has already found you. Jet and Chuck sprang into attack positions. Chuck drew his sword, and Jet grabbed his nunchucks from his holster. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cried the ringmaster, for your fighting pleasure, I'd like to introduce Jet Flashfeet and Chuck Cobra Crusher and their opponents. First up, they'll have you splitting your sides and literally dying with laughter. The clowns, Sheffield and Grimsby. The two clowns stepped out of the shadows. Thought we'd seen the last of you at the dock, said Sheffield to Jet. Not to worry. We'll do it properly this time. Next, Doris the dancing dog, continued the ringmaster. Doris is trained in the ways of the tango, the foxtrot, and the quick-step in lethal combat. This is all you've got? 2 men in makeup and a mangy mutt with some weedy dance moves, sneered Jet. Doris snarled. You want more? replied the ringmaster. No problem. From the mountains of Austria, may I present 7 siblings who will astonish you with their mid-air maneuvers. It's the family von Trapeze. Ein, zwei, drei, attack, shouted a voice from the trees. 7 trapeze artists swung down towards Jet and Chuck. Sheffield pulled out a frying pan and took a swipe at Chuck. Grimsby did the same with an oversized hammer. Meanwhile, Doris turned into an elegant pirouette into a powerful spin kick. Let's go, shouted Jet. He dodged Doris and sprang into the air, somersaulting over the clowns' heads. Next, he ran between their legs and with lightning speed tied their shoelaces together, causing them to crash to the ground. Ninja boom, he cried. Doris waltzed towards Chuck, barking madly, as 3 members of the Von Trapeze family swung at him from above. Chuck ducked, kicked Doris in the jaw, and then used his sword to vault out of the way. The trapeze artists crashed into each other and tumbled to the floor, but there were more where they came from, and now the clowns are back up on their feet. Time to wrap up the situation, said the ringmaster. He cracked his whip, wrapping it tightly around Chuck, and pinning his sword to his side. Jet, said Chuck, like a snake trying to play tennis. I could do with a hand here. On my way, called Jet, swinging his nunchucks above his head to keep the clowns at bay. Suddenly something nipped his back leg. He reached down to bat it away, and was immediately pulled to the ground by Doris. Oh dear, I'd say you two are well and truly floored. The ringmaster handed his whip to Sheffield and pulled a microphone from his inside pocket. These celebrations are being broadcast across the world. In 10 seconds, millions of people around the globe will be under my power, and there's nothing you vermin can do about it. Ah, listen, the countdown has commenced. 10, said the voice through the loudspeaker. 9. Grimsby, the lead, please. Grimsby dived into the bushes and emerged, holding a lead. He tugged it sharply, and out of the darkness walked a speckled white tigress.